Hello, welcome to Get Your Mind On. I'm Lori Stohs. Think about those individuals in your life who are those great listeners, the ones who are emotionally connected to people, the ones who absorb every word that you say and feel the emotions that you're feeling. They're the ones that you go to talk to because they're always there for you. They're always listening, they're always connecting, and they're always thinking about others. Those are empaths. And when we think about empaths, you might think about somebody who popped in your mind that was that. You might say, oh my gosh, that's me. If that's you, what a wonderful gift that you have. You have a wonderful talent because empaths, all those things that I just mentioned about empaths can't be taught. You are born this way. You're born with a natural, amazing talent to connect with people, to connect with emotions, to absorb emotions, to listen, to hear, and you're in tune. You don't even know how you're in tune to it, but you're in tune to people's emotions before they are. So empathetics and empaths are those individuals who have that, and you are special. You are special because you do those things. Now you may say, yeah, Laura, I'm really special. I've used those talents I connect with people and I have great relationships and friendships, but oh my gosh, sometimes I'm really tired. Sometimes I even have to disconnect from others because it's too much for me, because I carry all of their emotions and I carry their pain and I carry that stuff with me. And sometimes I even get sick because I carry it for days and I have so much of everybody else on me. Yes, those are the things that are the disadvantages of being an empath. Every one of our talents and strengths and every one of our personalities has advantages and disadvantages. And that's one thing that's difficult for an empath is to be able to take care of yourself and disconnect from those emotions of others. So, when you think about if you are an empathetic person or an empath, you're one of those who does absorb all those things, and it's a great gift. But you have to think also about how to take care of yourself. You have to think about the things that you need, and sometimes getting that quiet time and attaching to what you need, and also sharing with others what you need, because you don't do that first. And so that's a great piece of you, but that has to be managed every day. And also depending on what else is with it. As many of you know, I don't categorize people. I understand the uniquenesses of others. And so every empathetic person, an empath, isn't the same. It depends on what else you have with it. And if you're an empathetic person with a lot of harmony, where you like peace and you like everybody to get along, you have a tendency to not necessarily ask for what you need because you are developing others. The other thing if you're in a relationship where you have those emotional vampires who just suck it out of you all the time. They come to you for all those things and it's draining for you. You have to be able to manage that. You have to be able to tell them, you know what, I need a little bit of disconnect time, or maybe guide them to a book or to some other option for them. Also, those empathetic people, if you're not one and you work with one or live with one, the first thing you always say is, yes, they always cry at movies. They're always the one that get the tear in their eye when you tell the story. They're great storytellers, and they're those people who you think of that are those individuals for you. And if you work with them or live with one, just be aware of that. Be aware of the great talents that they have and tap into that when it's needed, but be careful not to overdo it. Be careful not to use them too much. And another thing would be to ask them what they need. They need sometimes something too, and they have a tendency, they may not ask for what they need. And so I think asking permission when you're getting into a deep conversation, because they listen so much and they listen so well that you may forget about that when you're in the midst of talking about yourself. And maybe it'd be good just to ask them how they're doing. So when you think about that, working with them or living with them, be aware of their emotions. Know they need some time to decompress themselves because they carry emotions for a long time. And sometimes they even get physically sick because they have so much with them. The other thing is, when you think about empaths, great careers, a lot of times people wonder, what is the best thing for them or for me? They're great teachers. They're great guides. They're great listeners. They're great individuals who really are able to be creative. That's the other thing. I worked with a lot of designers in the past. It was interesting as I watched a pattern of working with designers. Some of them had a lot of empathy. And there's a connection to nature for empathetic people. Also, the creativity comes because it's emotional. There's an emotional connection to the nature, maybe to design, to textures, those kinds of things. So I find that a lot of those people are very compassionate, and they may choose a career around that, or maybe even compassionate around animals. That compassion comes through very strong for those empaths. But again, be careful when we're thinking about a career, because if you choose something like counseling, whereas you could be a great listener, you're taking so much emotion with you, and especially if it's very critical counseling, maybe even cancer counseling or with children, or traumatic counseling, that might not be the right fit for you because you'd be drained all the time. So for positive charge this week, first, are you an empath? And if so, what do you love about it? And two, what don't you love about it? And if you're not an empath, why don't you think about who is one in your life and how you can best help them and utilize them as a partner for you. You know, we all are created differently, and we all bring unique talents. And so when we think about our talents and appreciate others, think about them, think about who they are. And, you know, if you're an empath, there's so much great that comes with you in terms of listening, connecting with others, and being there for them. Manage it correctly, and you'll be able to utilize that talent forever. Thanks for joining us today, and remember to get your mind on.